like the World Bank has attacked, or that kind of mindset has attacked us on all fronts, I think we should not fix priorities. I think wherever we are, whatever strength is, this huge group of people who have come here, I think all of them are equally important. And that is what we need to understand, both from this kind of economic aggrandizement and attack we have had, and also from the attacks we have had from religious fundamentalists. They have not prioritized. They have gone and taken over all the spaces that they have seen. And I think, therefore, I see really this as a million mutinies. I really see this as a multiple, multifaceted, pluralistic attack. But that's why I think the coming together of a political ideology of people's politics, or an understanding of being together on certain issues where we bargain collectively, that must be clearly understood. And I think we'll have to bargain for livelihood, we'll have to bargain for employment, we'll have to bargain for health, we'll have to bargain for education, we'll have to bargain for all the basic needs. And today, these basic needs don't only cover the very poor. I think all the affluent, or the lower middle class, is fast slipped into the unemployment bracket. There's so many literate youth who are unemployed. We must mobilize the youth. We haven't, even here, it was barely touched upon. And I think, 45% of India's population are the young, under 25. Now, they must see that they have no future. How many of them are going to get green cards and go to the US? How many of them are going to get into IT programs? Are they going to be part of that 8.5%? How many of them can? So they must also see that they are being completely pawned, mortgaged, that their lives are being mortgaged by a political economic system which has no regard for them. So I think if we look at these areas and work with people, who are the large masses of people, and if we still have a democracy, at least functioning democracy in some limited way, we can at least perhaps change. And if you look at South America, you look at what has happened in Bolivia, you look at what has happened in Venezuela, happened partially in Brazil, then why not here? Why not here? So therefore, we'll also have to start internal discussions and internal arguments. The Dalit group which I talked to yesterday said that they have had no big deal in this. There has been no paradise that they have lost, because the World Bank has not destroyed a system in which they had everything. In fact, what is there to choose between the kind of new deal that's coming in and the old deal that they had? It is very important that we accommodate and give strength to all the vulnerable groups and give them space in our politics to take them along with us as equals and place them as members of our prominent members of our team. So we'll have to work politically amongst ourselves, between ourselves also very hard. I think that the leadership of all our movements will have to change. Why am I here? I'm born a member of the ruling elite. I speak English. Today the way I speak English puts me in a class. My role should be played by a person who has come from that particular class. If you look at the meeting, we are all people who are dissidents from the same class, who understand English, we are important in a political battle. I don't say that we are completely unimportant, but we shouldn't be the leaders. The leadership should really be in the hands of extremely competent people who exist even today, but who are still in this country not recognized as leaders. For leadership, you still have to get the middle class. It may be a Dalit middle class, it can be a Muslim middle class, it can be a woman who's middle class, but it has to be middle class. So till that notion of leadership changes and the notion of a collective leadership emerges very strongly, I don't see impact. I'm really seen as a dissident. So what does it matter? A dissident can sometimes be in favor and sometimes out of favor. But I'm never seen as a threat, because who listens to me in the middle class anyway? So And if I'm going and working there, then it's fine. You know, I'm working with poor people, somebody else. I'm not working amongst them to create rifts, to make the middle class uncomfortable enough to fight with each other on issues. So the leadership will have to change. And so if really and truly, I think what has happened in Bolivia, therefore, is for me a phenomenal thing. And I think in India, we have to change not only political leadership, but really we have to change movement leadership. We have to change trade union leadership. We have to change all leadership.